we're here to talk about episode 28, Squirrelanoids. But before I really get into it, I wanted to mention something I noticed in the intro. So long story short, I thought it was a skeleton. It's not a skeleton, it's Ping! Casey Jones! Isn't that awesome? First official appearance. Though, I guess the first one was actually in episode 1. But still, you guys know what I mean. This is on one hand, it's really exciting, but on the other, it's actually kind of depressing because after watching the season promo, I was expecting Casey to be really energetic, slightly insane, and absolutely hating mutants. But no, here he just nods at Raph as a walking, so I guess a bipedal turtle with weapons. Apparently, it just doesn't faze him. I don't know whether that's super epic or just another inconsistency issue. If I were to make this a rap, regularly Casey would be like, I'm on a roof like a boss, nodding at ninjas like a boss, fighting mutants like a boss. But this is more like, I'm on a roof like a boss, seeing mutants like a boss, nodding at ninjas like a boss. Which I guess is a bit of a cool beat too, but at the same time totally not what I was expecting. Or maybe the promo is a little inaccurate. That's also a fair assumption. But in any case, let me know. Maybe, especially if you think that this is absolutely appropriate, let me know how you feel because I would like to know how you think this is appropriate. Not to say you're wrong, but just that I would definitely love to get some fresh insight. So, yeah. Anyhow, I still have a review to talk about, so let's get right to it. First off, I think this episode was definitely better than the last one, for the biggest reason being that the turtles didn't make any mistakes that wanted me, or that made me want to rip my braids out of my skull. Not to be fair, or I guess to be accurate, it's not like they were completely on point though. I feel like their skills have actually regressed since the season finale. Because, for example, how is it that 4 turtles that took down a technologically advanced spaceship managed to be beat by 3 mutants? Vicious mutants, yes, but still, just 3. At the same time, maybe this was done on purpose. Maybe the writers are trying to make a point that the turtles have been so cocky that they've been slacking off training, and the end result is that they're actually worse than they were after season 1. So if this was done on purpose, then I'll accept it. But if this turns out to be yet another inconsistency issue, so say next episode the guys are actually amazing, then I'll have an issue. I do not like inconsistency. And while we're talking about inconsistency, I'm gonna bring up Donnie, because I was expecting him to show a few signs of depression. Or maybe depression is a bit of a strong word, but I expected him to be out of sorts, distant, a little unfocused. Something leading up to the big climax where he either panics like crazy, like, oh god, I've ruined April's life, I am a terrible failure of a ninja, or the flip side, he's focusing so hard on this mutagen that he's not even taking care of himself, and he doesn't even care that there is mutagen, I guess, spread across the city. So, I don't know, I'm expecting some kind of lead up, because I think I mentioned this somewhere, whether it was in a podcast or another review, that I'm expecting big things for Donnie in this season, especially with Casey and perhaps having like some sort of love triangle. Hello. But at the same time, I'm not quite feeling it as of yet. It's still pretty early, so it could just be that it's too soon to say, but at the same time there's still that at least a slight inconsistency issue. Oh, yeah, okay, I've been ranting for so long, I feel like I need to mention something positive, and that, Raph. Not that he did anything super amazing or helpful in this episode, but I still feel like even though he picks on his brothers from time to time, he's still growing as a character, and he's actually showing his brothers more respect, especially since there have been some changes since we first saw him in episode 1. Like, let me put it this way, if Raph were to all of a sudden be like, Mikey, you know I love you, bro. Just put down that comic book, okay? Just put it down. We really need your skill and focus in this mission. You'll be able to get to that comic book later, but just right now, we need you, bro. If I were Mike, they'd be like, oh my god, who are you? And what have you done with Raph? I would not appreciate Raph's son being all mushy, because that's not Raph. And yeah, he's gonna pick on his brothers from time to time, but actually seeing him follow through with his promise, especially saying like his promise to be nicer to Leo, I'm actually seeing that happening. So yeah, yay. I'm glad that Raph is actually following through. And I love that he actually admits when he makes mistakes instead of just shrugging it off and leaving it for another day and acting like it never happened. So, you know what? Actually, I'm going to make this official. Raph, from at least at this point, is my favorite turtle of the series. That might change, especially if Leo actually gets his act together and becomes the leader that I saw, then was amazed by in the season finale. So it might change, but for now, Raph. Now lastly, when it comes to the turtles, Mikey, because he's the star of our show. But it's for the most part, I had a hard time determining whether it was Mikey who was the hero or the comic books. Because seriously, if it weren't for the comic books, Mikey would have absolutely no idea what to do. But at the same time, you can't deny that he did make some pretty sweet plans all on his own. So kudos to Mikey. Maybe, just maybe, this is a sign that his intelligence is actually growing by a few IQ points. Or maybe this is just willful thinking on my part. It could really go either way. But at least for the meantime, I'm just gonna say that it is nice that Mikey is picking up the slack and actually coming up with some clever ideas all on his own, because we haven't actually seen intelligence of this caliber from him since episode 4. But even then, it's a little shaky because you don't actually see him making a plan. So yeah, in any case though, that's it for Mikey. Just want to quickly mention Splinter because he was a boss. Oh my goodness, the guy has serious moves. We know that he's a ninja master. We've seen him kick butt several times now, but I'm still amazed by his skill. Oh, Splinter is amazing. And I think normally I would probably go on a tangent and say, why is Splinter not, I guess, interacting with his sons? I'm not seeing that love that I would expect. But at the same time, we haven't seen him actually be exasperated with his sons. Not like, I'm not talking mad at them, but just like, what have I done wrong? Like something along those lines. We saw that this time and it was actually rather funny. Because the thing about being a parent, it's not just all joy, teaching my sons they will be strong. But when you've got, seriously, you've got Leo, Donnie, Raph, and Mikey, these are not an obedient bunch. So I didn't realize that I was waiting for like an oh my god migraine coming on moment from Splinter, but we got one. So I'm actually kind of happy about that. Which is, I wouldn't have expected that from myself, but you know what? Sometimes I surprise myself too. So, yep, in any case, thumbs up for Splinter. Now lastly, I just want to mention my appreciation for the Aliens tribute. Not that I watched the movies, because I know that if I did watch them, I'd actually just spend the entire movie doing this. I swear, because I cannot handle gore. I watched Prometheus, and that was bad enough, seriously. Yeah, I spent at least a third of the movie doing this, which is a waste of my money. I came to appreciate the cinematic experience, and I end up closing my eyes for a third of the movie. Not cool. So, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to boycott Aliens simply because it's just way too scary for me to handle, but I do appreciate the plot. Yes, I've read the synopsis. I've kind of cheated. Sorry. In any case, though, to get on point, I really appreciate that the writers are actually kind of, in a way, recognizing the adults who are watching the show. I don't know whether I should be embarrassed to say that or proud, but either way, it was definitely nostalgic and a good feeling to know that the writers have my demographic in heart. That actually brings me to my question of the day. I really would like to know how you guys feel about, well, not necessarily aliens, but if you enjoyed that aspect of the episode, please let me know. But in case aliens didn't quite resonate with you, I'd like to know what would. If the writers were to throw something in that would bring out all the warm, fuzzy, nostalgic feelings, what would it be? From what TV show, movie, anything in the cinematic experience would would definitely work. So yeah, let me know in the comments below. And as always, please rate and comment and subscribe. Much love, and I'll see you guys again for episode 29.